guys, today we're going to be discussing The Elite by Kira Cass. So if you are new, the plan is I'm going to be rereading the entire Selection Trilogy series thing, the first 3 books, in preparation for the Heir's release on May 5th, which is actually just a couple of days from now. So every time I finish rereading one of these books, I'm putting up a discussion video, and then once the Heir comes out, I'm actually making the Heir-inspired cupcakes with purple frosting and sparkly things, and I'm going to do an unboxing of the Heir and put those two together in one video, and then after I finish reading the Heir, I'm going to do a discussion on that book. It's just gonna be really fun, so if you haven't joined in yet, you should. I know this is a lot of people's least favorite in the series, but I honestly, like, if you try to make me pick my favorite of all 3 books, I can't. I love all 3 of them equally. So if you have not read this book, if you've not read The Selection or The Elite, you need to leave now because I'm going to be talking about certain scenes and characters in this book and things that happen, and I don't want to spoil you. These books are so good. If you still haven't picked them up, please pick up The Selection and you will love it because it's amazing. And then read The Elite, and then you can come back and watch the rest of the video. So bye now, spoiler people! Okay, so you've read the book. Let's vent together. If you think there are a lot of feels in this book, you obviously haven't read the one, because the one is just so jam-packed full of feels, it's ridiculous. I feel like the more times I read these books, actually, the more I will cry, because the characters are more near and dear to my heart, and so it's just more emotional. So this book was a fun one. I loved how all of the girls had to do all these different projects. When the Italians came and Chris and America like did this party and they had to host it. And then also the Halloween party, which is one of my favorite. Like, it's just when Maxon takes America to the room full of books and like Gregory Allay's diary, that whole thing and how they discover Halloween and then they throw the party and then their families come. It made me cry. When we saw May again, I lost it. And May was so cute. She was just like, I'm gonna be just like America. And I love how she like dressed up as a bride for the Halloween party. It's just, okay. She's like one of my favorites. So the Halloween party was one of my favorite scenes. And I love how Maxon was like a pirate. So there are many fun moments in this book, but it also has a lot of emotional scenes. Marley and Carter. I felt like I was America during the whipping scene. She was screaming and crying and I was screaming and crying. I was like, Marley! Marley! Even though I already knew it was gonna happen, I really don't care. Like, it was so emotional. And speaking of emotional and whippings, do you hate King Clarkson yet? Do you hate him? Because if you don't, you are truly just, there's something wrong with your brain. America proposes getting rid of the casts, and the king finds out that she has one of Gregory Allay's diaries, and that Maxon helped her get it, and that he showed her the room and everything, and then he's like, come with me, son. We're gonna have a little talk. And then when America sees Maxon again, he's like in pain. She's like, what's wrong with you? And then rebels attack, and they have to go in that like hiding place, and she finds out that the king has been whipping him. Maxon, my baby, Maxon, why? Maxon is my favorite character in the series, and I just, yeah, I hate the king. Can we talk about America during this book though? I just need more time. I just need more time. I just need time. Aspen, no, Maxon. They both make me feel like I'm at home. I can't live without them both. Girl, you're awesome, but too indecisive. Just pick one. Celeste. I feel like I do that in every video. Celeste. Yeah. Not cool, girl. That scene with her and Maxon. Every time I read it, this is like my 3rd time reading that scene now, it makes me want to puke. It's the most disgusting, like, that's Maxon. That's my little puppy dog Maxon. My sweet, innocent little angel. Like, how can you do that? And in this book, I feel like it was in the other one too, but I didn't talk about it. When the rebels come and then they come out of their hiding and it's like everything is destroyed, and then like written in blood on the walls is, we're coming. It's the freakiest thing, like, rebels. I mean, I guess you could say Maxon and Chris would be good together, but I feel like, no. Chris, you're kind of nice, but I really kind of don't like you. Like, you're nice, but then whenever she thinks that America's being sent home, she's like, is she going home? Chris, stay away from Maxon. Maxerica for life. Don't try and sink my ship. They are unsinkable. They're too perfect. You can't handle it. I feel like this was in the selection, but I just forgot to talk about it. Or maybe it was in this one, I don't really know. When the rebels attack and they're all outside, and America runs off into the woods, and she's like hiding in a tree, and then the girl with like all the books in her bag sees her and curtsies, and just like smirks. It's hilarious. I'm like, okay then, what just happened? And after America and Maxon get out of hiding, near the end, and she thinks she has to go home. And on a completely different note, I just wanted to address this. In my last video, I was like, I hate Aspen. He's so annoying. I hate him so much. Somebody commented on my last video saying like, I respect Aspen. He loved America so much and he didn't want to stop fighting for her. And I mean, I do respect him. If you've read The Prince and the Guard, mostly The Guard, I guess, the novellas, I enjoyed The Guard and it made me have a little more respect for him. And after reading the last book, I have more respect for him, but I still don't like him. I mean, he's still annoying in my eyes. Like, just even before the selection, he just annoyed me. I was like, oh, I don't know why, but I don't like you. So I do respect Aspen and that he, you know, didn't want to give up on the girl he loved and had loved for years. Now this guy's just suddenly coming in and trying to take her. So, I mean, I respect him, but I still think he's annoying. And I realized in the last video that I actually forgot to mention the tugging of the ears, and it's just the cutest thing. I don't know, that's completely random, but I forgot to say it in my other video. And unlike in the selection, the Queen did have a bigger part in this book, which I really loved because, again, the Queen is one of my favorite characters. I think she's completely awesome. I really liked that she has a bigger role in this book and that she's starting to like get closer to the group of girls. Oh, I loved when after all of the families came, the girls were at tea with the Queen, and May calls America over and is like, look outside! And it's Maxon talking to America's father, and I was just like, okay, Maxon, you are officially the sweetest guy on planet Earth. Even though you're not real, I want you to be real, and I want to marry you. And of course, America was like, he's probably telling, well, we have to send your daughter home. I'm sorry. I'm like, America, obviously he's asking his permission to marry you. And I probably should have said this earlier when I was talking about it, but I completely blanked because that's what I do when I talk about books. When Maxon shows America the princess suite, and we find out that Marley is living in the castle, and she and Carter are married, and they're healing. I'm crying again, don't do this to me. Because of course they are. Maxon is basically the most perfect human ever, so that's why. But completely turning this around, reading all of the entries from Gregory Alea's diary was so infuriating and interesting, but mostly infuriating. Everyone assumed, you know, the person who claimed our land, country, Ilia thing was a hero and was a great person. But it turns out he was the most disgusting person ever other than King Clarkson. Lots of the rulers in these books are really bad, except for Maxon. He's awful. Yeah, those diary entries talking about what he did, it's so terrible, and I really don't like him. He reminds me of Clarkson. I do love how America had her like little bracelets from each guy. She had tied on a string one of Aspen's buttons from his like coat, and then she had a bracelet from Maxon. I don't know. That was completely random. I think I really can't think of anything else to talk about. I should probably start like tabbing the books. So I completely forgot to mention in my last video, if you haven't seen my The Heir, my Crackpot Theories video, yeah. I made it quite a while ago when the cover for The Heir was released. I'd already seen the cover, but like I was talking about it and like talking about what I think is gonna happen in The Heir. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it down below. So I think that's pretty much it. My next video will be the one discussion video, and then after that it will be my unboxing and cupcake making, and then I'll have The Heir and I'll be able to read it and talk about it, and I'm so excited. We're almost there, guys. 3 more days from when I'm filming this. I'm not sure about like when you're watching it or when it's up, I guess, but 3 days from today. It's time for the one, you guys, and then The Heir. It's almost time. Are you excited? I'm so excited. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in my The One Book discussion video. Bye!